Hello and welcome back to the Trainers of the World Tournament Season 2. I am your host DeltaTDS, and for match number 13, we've got the Pokemon Professor Laventon going up against one of our final 8 from Season 1, the Dome Ace Tucker, the Frontier Brain from Hoenn. Laventon's got sort of a Galarian team, and that is because he is from Galar. So he's got the, I think that's Single Strike Bear, but he's also got the Address Me Elephant. Anyways, Tucker's got the Latias and has the Swampert as the ace. Laventon's got the Decidueye as his ace, and once these trainers are ready, we can see what these two will be sending out to start match 13. Tucker starts off with the Salamence Arcanine. Laventon starts off with the Porygon 2 and Walrein. Walrein blocking both of those intimidates, while Porygon 2 is just not having a good time. It does get rid of one of those attack drops. Salamence with the Dragon Claw doing 39%. Close combat with a crit takes out the Walrein, as Porygon 2 setting up the Trick Room now. Laventon is already down one Pokemon, though just because you're behind doesn't mean you can't bring it back. He's going to send out the Appleton. Tucker switches out to the Ludicolo. Appleton goes for Protect. Ice Beam doing 16.8% to Ludicolo. Close Combat doing just under half to Porygon 2. Arcanine's defenses ain't looking too good right here. Tucker switches out to the Salamence, re-intimidating. Apple Acid doing 22% to Ludicolo, as well as lowering the special defense. Ice Beam doing a third to Appleton. Porygon 2 recovering. Switching out to the Arcanine, intimidating again. Salamence Terrasilices to fire. Apple Acid hits the Arcanine for 10%. Ice Beam doing 13%. Dual Wing Beat taking Appleton down to 8%. Tucker sends out the Latias as Appleton goes for Protect. Earthquake hitting only the Porygon 2. Trick Room does end here. Latias is revealed to have those leftovers. Dual Wing Beat's gonna miss the Porygon 2. Thunderbolt takes Appleton down to 3% as Appleton sets up a Leech Seed on Salamence. Porygon 2 setting up the Trick Room once again. Latias switching out to the Arcanine. Salamence switching out to the Ludicolo as Appleton goes for Protect, and Ice Beam does 8.9% to Arcanine. Fake Out doing 4% to Porygon 2. Extreme Speed taking out the Appleton. Porygon 2 is going to flinch from Fake Out. And Laventon down to 4 Pokemon sends out the Caparaja. Every time I see an elephant, I think of that Address Me meme. Surely someone's made like an edit of that with Caparaja. Rock Slide doing 52% to Arcanine, 30% to Ludicolo. Thunderbolt doing 17.5% to Ludicolo. Giga Drain doing 15% to Porygon 2. And Arcanine flinched, unable to move. Both of Tucker's Pokemon are around a quarter of HP left, though they could always just switch out or Protect to stall out the Trick Room. Tucker switches out to the Swampert and the Salamence. Caparaja missing the Salamence and Swampert resisting Rock Slide. Thunderbolt's not affecting the Swampert at all as the Twisted Dimensions return to normal. I'm slowly starting to remember just how Tucker was in Season 1. Dual Wing Beat misses the Porygon 2. Liquidation does just under a third to Porygon 2. Salamence taking a third from Rock Slide, as Swampert takes 6% from it, and Porygon 2 sets up the Trick Room once again. Salament's going for Protect. Copperajah with the Rock Slide doing another 6% to Swampert. Thunderbolt hitting the Protect. Earthquake nearly takes out both of Laventon's Pokemon. Tucker switches to the Latios. 13 and 6% to both of them. Earthquake does take out both Porygon 2 and Copperajah, leaving Laventon with just the Urshifu Rapid Strike and the Decidueye. Decidueye terrestrializing to water. U-turn doing 34% to Latios. Thunderbolt doing 80% to Urshifu. And Surgic Strikes takes out the Swampert, taking out Tucker's first Pokemon. If Laventon's gonna lose, it's not gonna be losing to a 6-0. Arcanine comes out, intimidates the Urshifu. Extreme Speed takes it out. Triple Arrows takes out the Arcanine. Thunderbolt doing just over a third to Decidueye. Tucker sending out the Ludicolo now. Tucker switches in the Pelipper. Giga Drain doing over a third to Decidueye. Triple Arrows takes out the Ludicolo. And in just a few turns, 3 of Tucker's Pokemon have fainted. Though I can't say any more are going to faint. Latios with the Thunderbolt takes out Decidueye. And Tucker takes game number 1 with 3 Pokemon remaining. We know that Arcanine and Salamence both have Intimidate. Salamence has the Terra Fire. We saw all 4 moves from it. We know Swampert Mega Evolves. We didn't see a move from Pelipper that game. We saw 3 of Ludicolo's moves. And on Laventon's side, we didn't see anything from Walrein, Urshifu. We saw all 4 moves from Porygon 2, as well as 3 moves from Appleton. We are back on the field for game number 2. We can see a few new Pokemon on Laventon's side. We see the Hisuian Braviary, the Hisuian Goodra, the Rotom Heat, and the Enamorus. Once these trainers are ready, which they are, Laventon sends out the Urshifu and Rotom. Tucker sends out the Latios and Ludicolo. No Intimidate off turn 1. A different start to Tucker. Fake Out's gonna flinch the Rotom. U-turn's doing 3/4 to Latios as Urshifu switches out to the Enamorus. Tailwind is gonna be set up, hoping Tucker keep that speed control. Ludicolo with the Scald doing 87% to Rotom. Thunderbolt taking Enamorus down to 17%. Springtide Storm destroying that Latios. Volt Switch gonna do a quarter to Ludicolo, switching out to the Decidueye. Tucker sending out these Salamence, boosting the attack on the Enamorus. I don't know if that was intentional or not. Tucker says it was completely intentional. Wanted a bit of a challenge this game. Dual Wing Beat's gonna take out the Enamorus. Scald is doing 11.6% to Decidueye as it sets up the Tailwind for its side. Laventon sends out the Goodra. It's currently 5v5 right now. Probably the most even it's been this match. Not this tournament. Dual Wing Beat takes out the Decidueye in 1 hit. Giga Drain boosts the attack of Goodra. Draco Meteor does take out that Salamence. Tucker's gonna send out the Arcanine. Laventon sends out the Braviary. Laventon's gonna switch out to the Rotom. Hurricane takes out the Ludicolo. Flare Blitz does 2/3 to Braviary and get the burn on it. There's 1 turn of tailwind left for Laventon. Tucker's down to 3 Pokemon remaining, sending out the Swampert now. We saw that this thing does Mega Evolve from last game. Swampert going for the Protect. Arcanine with the Extreme Speed doesn't take out the Braviary. Rotom with the Volt Switch doing a quarter to Arcanine and switching out to the Urshifu. Hurricane's gonna hit that Protect. Braviary does faint from that burn. And it's 3v3 as Rotom comes right back out here again. Tucker switches out to the Pelipper. Urshifu's gonna Terrasilize to Water. Extreme Speed takes out the Rotom. And Surging Strikes doesn't quite take out that Pelipper. Laventon's gonna send out the Goodra as his last Pokemon. Tucker still has that Swampert in the back, probably not Mega Evolving until it can get into the rain safely. Extreme Speed doing a quarter to Urshifu. Surging Strikes takes out the Arcanine. Hurricane does over 2/3 to Urshifu as Flash Cannon takes out the Pelipper, and Swampert is the last Pokemon on Tucker's team. Swampert Mega Evolves. Earthquake doesn't take out the Goodra. Draco Meteor does 62% to Swampert. And I think that's it. Earthquake takes out the Goodra. And on his last Pokemon left, Tucker takes game number 2 in a 2-0 sweep. I mean, that's just the top 8 of Season 1 for you. Tucker will be moving on to round 2, where he'll be going up against Officer Jenny from the Pokemon anime. So we know for sure we'll be seeing another Intimidate Arcanine on there. Join us tomorrow, where we will be seeing another top 8 from Season 1, Crasher Wake, going up against a trainer from Pokemon Legends ZA, Lebon. Thank you so much for watching, and until then, take care.